welcome back to my channel. My name is Chloe Hopi if you guys don't know me. Here's another sit down video because I was like, I want to do more sit down videos. I think it's an interesting to talk to you guys just one-on-one, face-to-face instead of just vlogging. So here's another sit down video. The sun is really bright and it's bright in my window. It's not usually there because I woke up an hour early for school, and I was like, okay, well, this is the perfect time to film my video. I thought it was late because it was 6:40, but I'm only late if it's 7:40 and I wake up. But we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore the fact that I woke up early, and we're gonna make the most of it by filming this video. So yeah, let's get into it. So if you already see by the title, I kind of want to talk more about high school. My last sit down video was also like my experience in high school, but I wanted to get more into the fact of high school is hard, like that whole just that phrase in general. I hear so many different people say high school is hard or high school is worse than college, or I just hear that a lot, and I wanted to give like my viewpoint on that. For one, I'm gonna say this is coming from public high school. I go to a public high school right now. Public high school is not difficult in itself, if that makes sense. I think when people are talking about, oh, high school is hard, high school is this, high school is that, I think they're talking mainly about all the stuff they do outside of high school. It's not difficult, it's just really exhausting, it's tiring. Going to high school, even like just being in that whole environment is tiring. I know because I came from a smaller school, and I got to high school, I'm just exhausted every time I get home from going to school, just because of how many people I have to talk to, how many people I see every single day, and all the things that I do every single day.
High school wasn't built with teenagers in mind. It loads kids with the workload of a full-time job and then sends them home with more. It measures output while ignoring the stress that overload creates. When teens are exhausted and overwhelmed, learning shuts down. Memory weakens, motivation drops, mental health takes a hit.
Not necessarily that the actual classes are difficult. It's just that the amount of people around me make me really overwhelmed, and that it's just draining, if that makes sense. On another aspects, a lot of people do sports. I don't do sports, which is probably why I'm having an easier time. But so many people do like 2 sports at a time. And with 2 sports, you're probably at school every single day from 8 a.m. to like 6 or 7 p.m. Okay, so that's also probably takes a lot out of it. And you come home, you're exhausted and you're tired and you just want to go to sleep. You want to eat and go to sleep, but you have a whole big amount of homework to do, and that takes even more time. But because you're so tired, it's harder to focus on those things. And I think that really adds on to it, because I feel like when people say high school is hard, it's not inherently difficult. It's not difficult because of the schoolwork or because itself, like the curriculum is hard. It's because there's so much of it to the point where you're exhausted, and there's so much that you're doing at once that you're just really exhausted from everything. Another thing that I think contributes to this, which I've seen a lot and that I talked about in my past video, is also relationships in high school. When you're in high school, especially freshman year like I am, you're gonna lose a lot of friends. I lost a lot of friends. Everybody lost a lot of friends. Everybody's mourning their 8th grade friend group and everything like that. And I think having to make new friends and having to balance those relationships on top of the schoolwork, on top of the sports, it's a lot, and it does take a lot, and that drains your battery. That drains your battery to the point when you get home after 8 hours of the school day of being surrounded by people that you wouldn't want to be surrounded by for 8 hours. You're exhausted, you're drained, and you get home and you have to do your homework. You start looking at your homework. You're getting homework every single day that needs to be turned in by the next class out of 6 classes, multiple homeworks. And you can't focus because you're tired, you're ready to sleep, you're ready to do all these things. And everybody's always like, high school will be the best years of your lives. As of right now, high school is definitely not freshman year might be one of the worst years that I've ever experienced in school. And I don't know. Obviously, I'm not qualified to speak for all of high school, and that's my standpoint on this.
Every time I'm having a really bad day, I literally just remind myself that at least I'm not in high school anymore. My life could literally be in shambles, but as long as high school is over for good, I will be okay.
You are allowed to not like high school. Oh my gosh, everyone's saying I'm supposed to be having the best time right now, and I just wasn't.
Those are just a few examples of videos that I found on TikTok where they're talking about all of this. And why are so many people who are in college and like past college or didn't go to college and are graduated from high school are always like, at least I'm not in high school. High school is the worst experience of my life. But then there's that mantra, I think I used that word right, but then there's that mantra of the best 4 years of your life. I really don't get it. I feel like another thing that I've been seeing is always like how every single teacher, like if you're going from elementary school to middle school, they won't take this in middle school. You're going from middle school to high school, they won't take this in high school. Tell me why I'm here in freshman year and people are saying they won't take this sophomore year. First it was elementary school, they won't take this in 6th grade. Then it was in 7th grade. They won't take this in 8th grade, you're almost in high school. They won't take this in freshman year. They won't take this in high school. Now I'm a freshman. They won't take this sophomore year. I feel, and then I've been seeing the videos that are like, they won't take this in college. And yet college is apparently super chill. Obviously, I haven't been to college. I can't speak for everybody who's been to college, but you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. to get to school all the way till 4 p.m. That's, unless of course that's your schedule, but you also get to choose your schedule. And I don't know, I feel like this also, it's just really different, you know what I mean? I obviously, again, I can't speak because I haven't been to college, but I've just seen so many different videos like that where it's like, oh, okay, so they're just gonna accept this forever. Like, you guys are just scaring me for no reason, I guess. And backtracking to like the relationship aspect of all of this, I feel like one of the things that's like, oh, high school's the best 4 years of your life is because of relationships, and they're all like, oh, you're gonna find your people there. Like, and that hasn't happened for me. Like, I have friends, and I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm all alone. I have friends, which is more than some people. And note that I'm very lucky to have those friends. But at the same time, it's not, like I said, everybody's mourning their 8th grade friend group. It's not the same as my people from middle school or anything like that. And I feel like that's one thing that I was like looking forward to. I was like, okay, it's fine that I'm moving schools because I'm going to find my people here. And that just hasn't happened for me, exactly. And of course, I don't want to say that like, I don't want to offend anybody who I do go to school with or like who I am friends with. Like, you guys are my friends. But I feel like everybody romanticizes the way that you get to school and you make friends and everything's just perfect and sunshine and rainbows, because that's not how it works. That's not how high school works at all. And I feel like my experience is definitely very different from other people's. A lot of other people have met their people. A lot of people have not made any friends whatsoever starting high school. And I can say that I'm very grateful for all the people who I have met, but at the same time, it's not as, like I said, sunshine and rainbows as everybody claims it is. I also feel like when people say high school is hard, everybody sort of misunderstands what they're speaking of, because I've seen so many different videos, high school is hard in quotes, and then it's them literally my homework, and it's like them doing a coloring sheet. That's not what people are talking about when they say high school is hard. They're talking about every aspect of it. They're not just talking about the curriculum or the homework. They're talking about the relationships. They're talking about the sports they have to do. They're talking about the exhaustion. They're talking about the drain that it comes with. And I don't think people really look into that, or like when people say high school is hard, they always just assume that it's one thing when it's not. Because it's really, when people say that high school is hard, it's a huge complex idea, but nobody seems to understand that whenever somebody says that. But guys, that's basically the end of the video because I actually am late now for school. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.